welcome to another episode of Professional Spotlight. I'm Shuvi Powers, the Director of PR and Social Media with Girls in Tech. Today, my guest is Pallavi Sharma. She is a Systems Analyst and a Project Manager at Wells Fargo. She graduated from Winona State University with a Bachelor's in Computer Science and a minor in Math. She is also pursuing her MBA right now part-time at St. Thomas. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks, Shuvi.
Do you want to take a minute and tell our viewers a little bit about yourself? We want to get to know you.
Absolutely. Well, you told some about at least my career, what I'm doing currently. But about myself, well, I'm originally from India. I moved here after finishing my high school, and I went to Winona State. I had a great time there. It was just it was a very, very awesome experience. 4 years, I did a lot of different things, a lot of different jobs, very stressful times, but I made it through. It was a great graduation, actually. I was the valedictorian.
Oh, wow, congrats.
Yeah. And and it was awesome. My parents were there, and they had a great time. But ever since then, I moved here, and I worked in many different startups. I started off at a startup, and it was a very awesome experience because I wore so many different hats. I was never one thing. I was many different things, many different roles.
Sure.
So I had a great exposure there. Worked in another startup after that. Now it's a huge jump to project management.
Yeah.
I came from a development background, Java, C++, C#, whatever.
Yeah.
And so this was a big switch, but I'm loving it.
Great.
I'm a consultant at Wells Fargo, so yeah.
Great. So let's backtrack. So what got you interested in technology?
So it all comes down to what my upbringing has been. In India, schools are very focused and centered around science, math, physics, chemistry. So kids just end up being very good at it. Especially for me, what made the difference and what made me choose computer science over, say, biology or physics or chemistry was my teacher. My teacher made a huge difference. I mean, I think I wouldn't have chosen this field if it wasn't for my high school computer science teacher.
Okay.
I fell in love with coding. I would sometimes make up my own little programs. It's like, okay, I want to make a triangle, and at that point you're in high school, so you're doing smaller projects.
Yeah.
So I would make it up on my own and then write a program for it. I was very interested in it, and my parents quickly saw that.
Yep.
And they saw that, you know, my scores in computer science would just soar, computer science and English. But so yeah, and then that kind of helped me at least guide me into that direction.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's awesome. So you are a consultant at Wells Fargo. Tell me a little bit about what you do there.
I'm actually in the infrastructure team.
Okay.
So I deal with a lot of databases, security related stuff. I manage about 6 to 7 different projects.
Okay.
And I manage the security of 5 to 6 different applications.
Okay.
Yeah. So any user who needs an access to a certain database or an environment has to go through me. But at the same time, I'm a business analyst on many different projects too. So I wear many different hats.
Sure.
So I can throw anything at me, and I'll make it happen.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So tell me, over the years, because you graduated in what year?
I graduated in 2008.
Okay. So since 2008, have you increased your skill level formally or otherwise?
Yes, my biggest decision of increasing my skill level was going back to school and getting my master's.
Okay.
Yes, my MBA has been like the best thing that could have happened. Well, after my husband and my parents, yes, of course. Professionally, absolutely. Taking that decision, because it was a big decision for me to go back to school, it totally changes your life, especially with a part-time MBA. I mean, managing both school and work, it is very challenging.
Right.
But I think it's by far one of the best decisions I made. And I took a project management course this past summer.
Okay.
And that really helped me a lot with what I'm doing currently.
Sure.
And the best thing was I would learn things at school and immediately be able to apply it at work.
Oh, that's very nice.
That is very nice.
So if you weren't in technology or doing what you currently are doing, what would you do if there was something else you could pursue?
Good question. You know, I feel like I can do so many different things, but if I had to just pick one thing, I'd say I'd be a writer.
Okay.
Yeah. I love writing, and I actually have a fitness blog too.
Oh,
I'm a
cool.
blogger on the side as well.
Cool, very
Yeah,
cool.
I've had my blog for about 5 years now.
Okay.
So I write. I love to lead a very fit and healthy life, but then at the same time, I wanted a way in which I can bring those two things together, and I started writing, and I started blogging. So
What's your blog called?
stayfitchronicles.com.
Okay, so check it out, everyone. That's
Yeah, yeah, it's growing very quickly too. So, yeah, I'd want to be a writer.
cool. Okay. So if you could start your own venture, what would that be? Or would you?
Yes, absolutely. Because I feel working, you know, there is no greater satisfaction than working for yourself.
Yes.
And I do want to do that at some point. I don't really have an idea at this point, but if it would be to help people in some way. For the longest time, I wanted to start a yoga studio or wellness center of some sort where people can come and relax and have a place for their children, but at the same time get a workout. And so that was one of my ideas. Any idea that I do pick will have to do with something where it helps people in some way.
So what is the best career advice that you've ever gotten?
To be very flexible. Initially, when I just started, I was very fixed on, no, this is exactly what I want to do. But I realized that just being flexible with my requirements of where I want to be has helped me explore more. You can see, I mean, anyone who looks at my resume, they look at, oh my God, you've done so many different things. I'm like, that's pretty much why, because I have learned to be flexible. I've never typed myself that, okay, this is the only field I'm going to take. I've gone on and accepted whatever curved ball or whatever has been thrown at me. I've gone on and accepted those positions and done a good job of it. So I think being flexible and being very devoted in whatever you do has been the advice that I have gotten.
And it's worked for you.
And has worked for me too. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So you're transitioning sort of from developing and coding to more of your project manager
Yes.
role and kind of entering the business side of things. What attracted you to make that transition?
That transition happened in my previous opportunity, in my previous company I worked at Success Factors. I was gradually with development, I was their developer, but with time I realized that my team started to give me those management or managerial roles or tasks. I was the one who was making sure the projects get completed, wherever, being the middleman between the product managers and the developers and the QA. I was that person who was like, okay, you want to get something done, I will be the person who will be
The liaison.
the liaison
Sure.
between the two teams. The projects were going very smoothly. I was on top of all my tasks and my developers, making sure that they were getting their work done on time. And if there was a situation, I would jump right in and help out. So even there, it wasn't just one role. I was also doing some project management role. So I think when I started to do really well at it, and plus I was also in my MBA program, and
Yeah.
I was, there was, sooner or later I knew that this frustration would creep in that I'm not being able to use what I'm learning in school. So I made that switch. I'm like, it's time that I started using some of that.
It
So.
appears that it came kind of naturally to you as well, so
Right.
it's a great fit then.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, my managers have been, touch wood, I've been very good. I've been very lucky in terms of managers. I've gotten very good managers who've been very nurturing.
Okay.
So they would give me a few positions to see how well I do, and if to make me realize too if I'll be a good fit. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, we all think that, okay, this is what I want to do, but maybe not necessarily
Yeah.
is that the path
Right.
you should take.
Having the chance to explore it before you dive
Exactly.
fully into it.
Right.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So if you were an inanimate object, what would you be?
I'd want to be a magic wand.
Okay, tell us why.
Why? Because who wouldn't, I mean, a magic wand is a very powerful object. it can make miracles happen. It can make any wish come true. But at the same time, there's if it's not used correctly, or if, it can also be used to put a bad spell on someone, and then all hell breaks loose.
Powerful.
Yeah, so very powerful. But at the same time, don't piss it off too much.
Yeah. It's good advice.
Yeah.
So do you have any last words for our viewers?
Yes, sure. I think what has really worked for me has been to not fear any opportunity. I think computer science and technology in general is a field which a lot of women tend to be very hesitant about. It's like a lot of girls come and tell me that, oh, you're a developer or you're in IT. It seems hard to me. I'm like, no, it is very important to go ahead and try it out and see if that'll be a good fit for you. I think it is very important to be a little fearless and go ahead and try new things. I think that'll be my advice to anyone who is considering a role in technology.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate that. It was
Thanks,
a pleasure
Shubhi.
to have you.
Pleasure is all mine.
And I would like to give a shout out to Olson for hosting us here today. And once again, I'm Shubhi with Girls in Tech. Thanks for joining. Bye.